Welcome to the shit show.
Tom, you look like you're deep in thought over there. It is the All Elite Wrap-Up for September 4th, 2025. We are live. I said, on the YouTube. You can look at our faces. I don't know why you might want to do that, but you can if you are watching this live. If you're listening back on the podcast or you're watching some clips of this back later, you missed it, but we do this each and every week. Subscribe to us at allelitewrapup.com. That's completely free. You can go to the website without subscribing, but if you subscribe, you'll just get an email each week saying, hey, we're going to go live tonight, because it's typically, right now, it's Thursday nights. It's 7:15-ish on Thursday nights, right here in the one true time zone, my home standard time. But Tom, sometimes it's a little different. Like next week, it'll probably be the same time, but you won't be here. I'll have to do the show solo.
I will be in Chicago, knocking three stadiums off of our bucket list for the Major League Baseball tour till we get to all of them.
Chicago?
Well, there's the Chicago White Sox, Chicago Cubs, and then we're taking a train to Milwaukee and then going to see Milwaukee Brewers. So,
hey, I know a thing or two about Wisconsin.
Well, what do you know about Wisconsin?
There are 13 public universities in the public education system.
Yeah, I remember learning that on this very podcast.
Yeah,
I might say that while I'm up there.
We used to have friends from Wisconsin. I don't know what happened to that.
I don't either.
They used to be in the chat, which reminds me, you should join us in the chat if you're watching live. Talk to us as the show goes along. Yeah,
it'd be nice to hear from people that we used to talk to, like the people from Wisconsin.
You probably ran them off like the truckers.
Hey, I'm going to be me. There's a lot of things that I will compromise on, but not being me. I'm going to be me.
You are going to be you at every turn. And that's what we love. You grow with us. We've been doing this together, Tom and I, 13 years. And and now we're the All Elite Wrap-Up, right? We're going to talk about AEW specifically. So we're going to go through Dynamite, kind of recap that as we go along. But you can chime in with us. You can follow us week to week as we go along. We're skeeting on the blue sky, furiously skeeting into the intertubes. Usually is Tom out there. So join him live when he's doing that. Or throughout the week, just send us some messages, say what up and talk to us. And then you can find us on the YouTube, the allelitewrapup.com. Like I said, you can also email us at aewrapup@gmail.com. We will play or read that, whatever you send us. That's safe, right? You'll find out there's a lot safe here, but, don't be weird.
There ain't nothing safe around these parts, boy.
You can be weird, just don't be...
No, be weird. Just don't be weird.
Right, but yeah, be weird, but don't be weird.
Don't be weird. Yeah. And don't be boring either. Hey, guys, what would your top 5 favorite? Shut the fuck up, okay? Jesus.
Tom loves when you ask about the outfit choices of the wrestlers when they change their gear. He loves
that was
when
blue
you
and white. It was red and yellow.
Mercedes Moné is his favorite. It was NWO Mercedes Moné tonight.
Ugh.
But we'll talk more about that.
I guess we will. Hey, but before we get into that part of the episode, why don't we talk about the breaking news from AEW? Broke last night, or during the day, I guess, but then it was announced last night on AEW Dynamite. But it's long been rumored, and now I guess we've pulled the trigger on it. But HBO Max is going to stream live AEW pay-per-views, starting with AEW All Out on Saturday, September 20th. By the way, it says here at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time.
They moved it to an earlier start. I hope that becomes their trend. Yeah.
Can I tell you something? Secret time. Secret time.
I love that. Yeah.
I was going to miss All Out because I had already made plans. I take my mom to a baseball game once a year.
Look at you.
And we had decided September 20th because it's fan appreciation night. It's towards the end of the season. When you go to any baseball game, but Royals specifically, all their merchandise is half off the final month of the season. Nice. So you get better deals and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, September 20th, let's do it. And so I got tickets, all the stuff. And then they said CNC versus FTR. And I looked down at the bottom. I was like, motherfucker, what? Damn it. But the game doesn't start till 7. So if they start this pay-per-view at 2, that means I will get to watch at least one match.
Yeah.
It won't be
You might
over
get
by
halfway
7.
through the show. Yeah. You might get 3/4 of the way through the show. Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah, I think this is cool because, again, I know some people travel during the shows to overseas to sometimes get a cheaper price. So hopefully, if you don't want to go through all that mess, if you're already a Habo Max subscriber, you can just join in and get these cheaper, right? It's $39.99 if you're an already subscriber, correct? Or
yes, that is correct.
Subscribe at the time as well.
Yes, yeah, $39.99, which I actually prefer because I hated myself after they moved away from Triller. I believe it was what I was initially doing. PPV.com never worked for me. So I ended up getting my fucking pay-per-views on Amazon, which I did not like at all.
Nope, didn't want to do that. I was using the YouTube, which, I would have preferred something different, right? But
I thought YouTube was only international.
Nope, you can buy it on YouTube. Yep. Now I've been buying it on YouTube for the last several times now.
Oh, motherfucker. I didn't realize that. I just assumed that was international. Huh.
Nope.
Well, look at there.
Thought I was traveling again, doing the...
I thought you were on the high seas, seeing
no, you get it. You just buy it. And that's why I said it's fun because I could be watching it on the phone and then let's say I'm now in the living room. I'm like, just put it on my TV and it'll be like, there you go.
Interesting. But so now AEW on HBO Max will have pay-per-views. It already has, I believe, every pay-per-view.
I think so.
It's got all the Dynamites except for 2022 and 2023. For whatever reason, those 2 years are missing. And the reason I know that is because I keep wanting to go back on HBO Max and watch the episode that we went to when Toni Storm made her debut in the black and white film.
Isn't that the same? Oh no, that's not this because we saw her come back.
Yeah, that was
the Yuta Sucks night.
Yeah, and that was the Winter
night?
Is Coming. Yeah, that was Winter Is Coming. But the one I'm speaking of was they went the first hour commercial free. It started with Danielson versus Swerve. And it even kicked off before that with Christian acting like he was the one that pulled the strings on making it the first hour free. And then it was Danielson versus Swerve. And then after that, that was when Toni Storm did her black and white thing, which everyone was like, what the fuck? That was weird and kind of cool. And then it ended with, remember, we were right along the guardrail, and that's when it was like Blackpool Combat Club, Swerve, Hangman. Hangman was a heel, and he's punching Swerve and stuff. I got videos and stuff on my phone. And so, excited to watch that, but it's not on there yet, but it will be soon.
Same one.
Yep.
So this was they did one show at the
that was Winter Is Coming. Yeah, that's the last one. Right. That was in December of last year. Right. Yeah. 23 was the Danielson Swerve, which I want to watch because, you go back to their pay-per-view match at All In. Very, very good. So I wanted to see kind of the progression from the first to the second, but not yet, at least on HBO Max.
Not yet. But I'm excited for these pay-per-views, but that's good. Excited.
So let's get into AEW Dynamite then, Tim. At the granddaddy of them all, and in our little subculture, it kind of is 2300 in Philadelphia, PA, and we kick it off with a cosplayer. It's old Conor McGregor, now known as Gabe Kidd, walks out and just fucking sucks. God, he's not even. We say Yuta sucks, but I think we say it tongue-in-cheek and kind of lovingly because he's like our guy.
Right.
Gabe Kidd fucking sucks.
Yeah, Yuta sucks in the way that if we get 20 years down the road and Yuta's being inducted into an AEW Hall of Fame, we're going to lovingly chant Yuta sucks while he cries. Yes. You know what I mean? But Gabe Kidd just sucks.
It's just awful. I just don't like a thing about him. I think he's boring. Again, I think he's cosplaying as Conor McGregor.
I think he's an overactor, which it's pro wrestling, so you've got to really be bad for me to, the bar is already here. The bar is overacting, right? So for me to be like, Jesus, this guy.
Now, I will say this, and maybe I'll be proven wrong as time goes on, but a lot of other people seem to like him, right? He's in AEW. He worked with Eddie Kingston.
This is a New Japan thing. Remember where they don't really do promos. They just get in the ring and wrestle fight. And it's like, all right, well,
Well, does he do that well either?
Well,
But
I guess we'll find out.
yeah. So he comes out and he's like, "Hey, Darby, you suck. Come out. I'm gonna fight you, Darby. I'm gonna fight you. Come on, Darby. I'm gonna fight you." And Darby says, "Oh, guess what? I'm right behind you. Gotcha, bitch." And then they start wrestle. Here comes the Death Riders,
Yeah.
and I said this on Blue Sky, and I still think it's crazy because we'll talk about them again a little bit later in the show. But we get Yuta out there, and before he even breaks a sweat, takes a skateboard with thumbtacks to the back. Like, you haven't even, I don't think
Yeah.
at least, warmed up properly, and here you are, just 6 thumbtacks in your
Warmed up.
back. You know what I mean? And then,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So yeah, that's the first half of this little melee, and then we get some fun, Tim. So the weirdest theme, I should say, in pro wrestling, Hook, his song hits, and he comes walking out, and he's ready to help old Darby because he has that beef with Yuta. And before he can even get to the ring, the ops just run right past him, and they start fighting. To his credit, Hook is like, "Well, I guess I'll still fight Yuta," and so they fight. What'd you make of the ops thing before we get into kind of part 2 of that?
So, again, this is prior to getting to part 2. I said, well, I guess we're getting our answer to, is Hook still part of the ops, right? Because he, like, music hit and he looked back like it's like you do when your tag partner's coming out, right? He wasn't shocked. He wasn't pissed. He just kind of looked. Now, that might be because Hook's not that great of an actor. So, maybe take some from the Gabe kid and put it into the Hook, right? But, they go running by and I was like, all right, I guess maybe he's an also, maybe the ops can be 4 people, Maybe
Yeah.
they can.
Let's put a
That's where I
pin
was
on
at.
that. Yeah, because they talk and we'll talk about what they talk about. But we get a whole melee, which then ends up with Darby and Gabe Kidd going to the back outside. And long story short, Darby gets the upper hand, puts Gabe Kidd in a body bag, and then zip ties it, and then drags him down South Philadelphia, I guess. I don't.
I feel like we jumped the shark with that one. So, for
just,
anybody not, as old as we are or from America, that's a reference, dating back to some old American television that kind of says you went a little too far, right? You overplayed the gimmick a little too much, right? And to me, they even went so far as to say, like, oh, he had this planned, right? Like, because again, like, you had a body bag and a chain and a truck that you have access to the keys to. So now, even if you planned it, Gabe Kidd interrupted the opening of the show, right? Like, so am I to believe he interrupted that? You took the opportunity that you were going to otherwise do sometime during the show and just had everything stocked and knew that, like, you'd be winning the fight enough to purposely get him to the exact spot where you stored a truck with a body bag with a chain. Like, I've lost you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm this is too much. I don't believe you anymore.
Well, and my thing with the drag the person in a body bag down the street,
You get
go
road
fast.
rash, maybe. Yeah,
But,
exactly.
like,
Go fast. Yeah.
go fast. You
Do
know,
some
and
convenient cutting. I know we're live, pal, but, like, you know how to do, like, get a dummy
Yeah.
in there and let's
or
look. It's wrestling. You remember the Michael Jordan commercial where the mom suddenly has a mustache to do a dunk? Like,
Yeah.
I don't care if it's bad. Like, it's almost better if it's bad. Do an obvious dummy in a bag and yank that shit and yeet it at 100 miles an hour.
or what I was thinking with this is, do that pre-tape and then speed the fucking tape up, right? Make the
Yeah.
fucking truck look like it's going fast.
Something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it just
you can pre-tape a sack of some laundry right in there and rip that shit out and make it hit a pole as you're, like, fucking way out. Something. Give me something.
And also, and this isn't with this segment specifically, but also just kind of a general kind of rule that I've noticed with these kind of stunts. If you're doing the stunt, i.e. Darby driving the truck, go until you think they've already said cut. Because we even see the brake lights hit before the shot's done.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Like, all right, you're dragging this guy. Am I to assume now you're coming out of the alley and you're like, shit, I got to turn left, so I got to wait.
Yeah.
Blinker on.
Just
And then is there traffic that's about to see? And I also wonder, like, if they're shooting that, any passersby that like didn't know what was going on, be like, what the fuck is? That's what I mean. Like, give me something a little more. And here, man, this just feels. Again, we like to try to keep things, in front of the curtain, right? We're analyzing as if we're in the crowd. We're just watching the show, but like this almost feels like Gabe Kidd and Darby Allin in the back were like bonding over how extreme they are each, and now let's get into a little program and let's show them something, and they're gonna do what they think is pushing the envelope here, but I don't know if I think they missed a little here.
Yeah. Hot take. Undertaker and Hulk Hogan did it better on the motorcycle.
So like, and I just look, I know Darby has the coffin drop, and so then we did the coffin things, and so the body bag, I guess, but like nothing else about the package of Darby Allin equates like death to me or you're dying, right? Like it just doesn't, you know what I mean?
I get what you're saying, but I mean, he's also like, he's willing to die.
He's willing to die. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is he should be like, I don't carry this around to you. It's like, so they'll have it when I inevitably get myself killed from doing something fucking crazy enough.
Yeah. So yeah, that was our first segment. As mentioned, the kind of intrigue is the Ops and Hook. We get to that, but momentarily. Before we get to there, though, we get our first in-ring competition, and it's for the TBS Championship. It is your champion of everything, apparently, except for the Women's Championship, because she can't beat the GOAT, Toni Storm. It's Mercedes Moné, and she takes on Alex Windsor. You tell me. You tell what this. You tell me. You tell me.
Easy for you to say.
I just because I
just
don't
what
wanna,
I thought about this, or what?
Yeah, because I don't want to be mean. Because I'm actually having a good day.
Well, I'll say this: we did get a lot of response online, so I chopped up last week's episode and put the clips up as individual clips, which we haven't done in a while. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people didn't like that we asked if she was the most boring champion in AEW. And you know what I mean? And people would be like, we kept saying that she wins all the time. They're like, she just lost last week. Like, you know what we mean. Yeah. Look, I thought this was fine. The match was fine. Again, something we give Mercedes Moné all the time is the wrestling's good. Wrestling's top notch, but like, it's just, I was under no impression that Alex Windsor was about to win this match tonight under these circumstances right now. So like, it was just happening.
Oh, Tim, you know how I have a knack for pushing people away from the podcast as soon as they start liking us. So I'm sorry.
Welcome, new users. Please talk to us live in the chat. Send us some skeets on the Blue Sky emails, aewrapup@gmail.com.
So the
direct
biggest...
your hatred at Tom.
Yeah, because I get it. Look, hey, as I used to say when I was coming out of my dark crusade against people having fun, wrestling's big enough to have everything you like and I like and dislike. Yeah. Yep, exactly. So all that's to say, Alex Windsor was the worst part of this segment. I couldn't stand her in the slightest. She was doing, and I'm not trying to be like mean, but it felt as if, at least from my viewing point or from my perspective, that she was overwhelmed by being in a one-on-one match with Mercedes Moné, because she would have like a rest hold, as they call it, a rest hold on Mercedes Moné and just randomly yell Windsor to just get people to like make noise. Yeah. And it's like, if you're doing that, that's a day one, like trying to get your gimmick over thing, not a title match in AEW.
Well, and I mean, there is some of this. She's a way less accomplished and experienced wrestler of the two. So there, you might notice that. I'll give you that. But I also think, I think any sort of like swell that she has right now is because she's new and you know what I mean? And like that happens almost every time we bring somebody new from overseas, right?
But I felt like, the week before, Mercedes is like saying things such as, I'm going to put you in a hospital next to your husband. And so then we fast forward to this, and she's like, Windsor!
Windsor!
Bitch, she wants to cripple you. What do you think that this...
Yeah.
This isn't
put your neck in a Windsor knot. Like, what are you doing?
Like this isn't a friendly competition, or you're not a egotistical heel thinking like this is a fun time.
So I think part of the thing is we briefly pseudo connected her to Toni Storm and some of the zaniness, and I think maybe she's holding on to that as something like, look, I got over. It's like, no, you were in the proximity of
and
somebody
get it
that
away.
is over with that.
Yeah, and even Tony, again, maybe I'm nitpicking, but I was soured on Alex Windsor moving forward after this match.
I didn't necessarily like hate it or anything, but again, I
didn't hate
being like this was fine. I was just like, this is fine, but it didn't move me in any way thinking like, wow, I really hope we get that again or anything.
Well, and that's what it should have done, right? Like if you get a title match, now to their credit, Mercedes wins clean, air quotes, clean, and as she typically does, right? And then after she wins, they do a whole like, let's shake hands, but psych, I'm going to put you in a submission.
Flip you off, yeah.
Yeah. And after Mercedes wins, she has the statement maker on Windsor. And Rio comes out. And here, time out. Let's just pause just for a second, because I've already taken enough hate in the past about Rio. And again, wrestling's big enough to where if you like what you like, I like what I like, I dislike what I dislike, you dislike what you dislike, and we're all happy, right? But when Mercedes is the diesel of the two of you, that ain't good, man.
Yep. Well, and prior to Rio coming out, what struck me as odd is, so Mercedes gets the win. Alex Windsor is like, jolly chap, put her there, sporting, or whatever she says. And Mercedes is like, yeah, fuck you, right? Awesome. Alex Windsor then decides, oh, no, you don't, double leg or whatever, right? And then gets bettered into Mercedes Moné doing the whatever she calls it, right? Bank statement. Like, well, so how am I hating Mercedes Moné as the heel? You attacked her. Yeah. You attacked her after the sporting competition, and you got your ass kicked again. So, like, it did knock me down then.
Yeah.
And the Rio return, I just never was sold on Rio. I feel like it's not our style of wrestling, right? Of the more like the high flying and the like kind of acrobatic styles of wrestling. Like, not to say that we don't like any of that, but we don't like it as like the primary starting point, and that's kind of what Rio is, right? And it just, again, we are more storyline and promo driven, I think, in what we like, and we're not going to get that with Rio.
Well, and also just on kind of to continue that point, she's so start and stop in her AEW career. I can't even get behind what she even is.
Yeah.
Like the last time she was consistently on television, she lost the championship to Nyla Rose, and then
Rio's got the Rhino spot.
Yeah, I mean, essentially that's what
show up like, oh, Rhino's here.
Yeah, like she had a pipe for a little bit. Remember when she was chasing? I think it was the Outcast off with the pipe. That was it. And then since then we didn't see her, and now again it's like, oh. I guess
when she looks at this TBS title, do you think there's something there? Like, like 9 belts Moné. We've made it like Toni Storm's the only person who can beat her, and like, is it gonna be Rio?
No, this is all peeking behind the curtain, and what I believe is Mercedes Moné. Oh, am I gonna get in trouble again? Probably. Sorry. This is her
New Japan title.
No, but this is her doing that cosplay I'm Japanese culture gimmick that she loves to do, where she dresses up like Japanese street culture and like little 13-year-old girl Japanese anime thing. And it's another, like, again, biting other people's culture is never good. Don't care who you are. And she does that a lot, and we are just like, it's fine. She loves Japanese wrestling. It's like, does she? Because she's also dressing up like the fucking anime characters. I don't know. I'm just saying, sometimes I think she does an overreach on
It kind
that.
of hit me that with this NWO, I was like, oh, she's NWO Mercedes Moné tonight. It's that. It's like we know Mercedes Moné by the changing of the look, right? It's a Charlie Haas gimmick now, is what it feels like.
I mean, kind of, yeah. But I think this is all just, I want to work with more Japanese women wrestling. And again, Eddie Kingston is the biggest Japanese pro wrestling fan there probably is. And I love Eddie Kingston to death. There he is right there, right? I'm not trying to say if you like Japanese wrestling, you can't be part of your thing. I'm just trying to say she seems to want to how Gwen Stefani is now saying she's Japanese even though she's not.
That's the thing.
Oh yeah, she
So
says
she's
I
Rachel
identify.
Dolazaling the Japanese.
Yes.
culture.
Ooh, good call. Yes.
Yeah.
That is what I think
That
she's doing with
throwback.
this.
God.
Yes,
Was that
that is
2013 or some shit? What was that?
maybe. I like it though. I know exactly what you meant. So yeah, that's what I think this is. It's just she wants a match with a Japanese wrestler, and it happens to be Rio. There you go. It's going to be at All Out. So if you like that, I hope you enjoy it. I'll probably not be watching that part. All right, let's get the pin out of our earlier conversation and get back into it because we go backstage. And where does Hook stand with the ops? And another thing that I didn't get, because Hook is mad because I don't.
They replaced him?
What?
Like, what? Like, yeah.
And
The blood
Powerhouse
wasn't even
Hobbs-
cold. Be like,
Yeah,
bro,
and-
you were injured though. Like,
Yeah.
you couldn't wrestle, and like now we have titles, and like again, you could be a member of this group, and
Right.
like all these multi-person titles seem to be allowed to have a freebird rule in AEW, right? Like if you're tag champs, but there's a third person in your unit, they can kind of defend it, and we don't really have to address it. You know, like it's kind of how it works.
And also, and now this is where I would have to go back and fact check, which we don't do. And if you do, let us know later. But I thought he got hurt, and then the first match after he got hurt was their title match. Thus, that's why they needed Powerhouse Hobbs. So what the fuck did you want the other two guys to
like
do?
Hobbs was like, I've always had your back. Like they were boys, they were friends.
They were Team
you know?
Taz.
Like,
Yeah. Like it was Hook that went after Ricky Starks, not Powerhouse Hobbs when the whole dissolving of Team Taz happened.
So are we getting a Hook versus the Ops storyline, or are we getting this is just how we're going to work him back in?
Well, I don't know, because I did find it interesting when Hook is doing this Cry Me a River, the body wasn't even cold thing, where Samoa Joe goes, hey, it was me. It wasn't Shibata. It wasn't Powerhouse that was trying to take your spot. I made the fucking call. And so if you got a problem, look at me. And by the way, your little bitch ass is going to need some help soon. And you know what? We still love you.
Gonna have your
We're
back
going to be
in
there.
too.
Yeah. Which will they?
Will they?
Or
how about it's one of these where Powerhouse Hobbs comes out and starts beating the ever-living shit out of Hook to where he's near dead, and Samoa Joe comes out and stops him from killing him. He's like, see? I told you I'd have your back. I stopped this man from murdering you, which he had every ability to do, right? Just like that, if I would have gave the call. But I saved you.
and then they beat him up again.
And then they beat him up again. Yeah. Yeah.
I was thinking that. Honestly, I was. Not that Powerhouse Hobbs would beat him up, but that Hook would get 3-on-1. It's Claudio, Yuta, and Moxley. The ops come out. They just chase him off, right?
Yeah.
And then they look at Hook and like, you bitch ass. And then they just beat him up. Like, why did we have to do this for you?
Give him the shield treatment. Chair in the back.
Or it's Hook baits him out there. Oh, I need help. Oh, I need help. And then it's, let's just say, again, the Death Riders. And then the ops come out and Hook goes, oh, is this the time you're going to save me? And then he joins with the Death Riders and beats up on the ops and is like, I'm a big boy now. I wear shirts with sleeves on them. Ha, ha, ha.
Look, I got my olive jeans. I'm in the group.
Yeah. I got a white T-shirt with sleeves on them. I'm a big boy. Me and Claudio gonna do pull-ups. I don't know why you would talk like that, but
Burpees. They're doing burpees. Tom.
yeah. Yeah.
To German rock EDM.
Hell yeah. I will say one person that was absent from this episode, though, was Shibata. So what are we doing with Shibata?
Yeah, well, it sounds like Shibata's gone. Just come right in, Hook.
Yeah.
So I'm saying Freebirds, baby.
Yeah, honestly, and I get it. Sometimes with timing and you want to do the story and you got a pay-per-view, so you got to do it now kind of thing. And I'm not trying to say, the world's not perfect, right? But if Shibata wasn't going to be there, I would have just put a pause on what we're about to do and just have Hook join. And then when Shibata comes back, then that's when Samoa Joe has to make a decision and is like,
oh, shit.
Shibata, you're back in. And now that's when Hook goes, wait a minute. And now we've got a little bit more mustard on what Hook has to say with like, oh, now that everyone's healthy, I'm actually the weakest of all of you guys. Fuck off. And then it makes more sympathy for him instead of right now he sounds like a whiny little baby.
Man, I know we really... I see why... sometimes why we think like this Hook thing is gonna hit and it's gonna take off. It's gonna be the next big thing. But man, every time we try to make that happen, it doesn't quite get there. So
I think we need to lean into he's a bitch. Because here's the thing. Well, yes, I would do. So the next person we're going to talk about
was a little disappointed in him, is what you mean?
Well, that's where I was getting at, because the next group and guy that we're going to talk about was Ricochet and GOA. If you recall how Ricochet kind of went from babyface to, wait a minute, you motherfuckers don't like me, and then became whiny up until he did the knife thing or the scissors thing with Swerve, that little time period, if you take that character and apply it to Hook, I think we could have something there.
Could.
Yeah,
because he's not a good talker. We'll say that. So the more you can give him something where he can have something that doesn't need to be good, right? Erratic, crazed speech, right? Would help. That makes sense, right? Like, I can't, right? Just let him get a little upset about things. That could help. And then, it'll help transition him maybe into a reason to have ire and anger that he can direct at somebody that we would then care about him doing wrong to. And
because I believe he can't cut promos as strong as others can in AEW, Taz can be there to do the, hey, what are you, like, because Taz can do the verbal, hey, what are you doing? And all Hook has to do is a push to the chest and, hey, fuck that guy,
The thing with that is, again, we try to keep things in front of the curtain, but I get the feeling Taz almost wishes he could have a fucking pen name for while he's doing commentary. He doesn't want anybody being like, it's Taz. He's like, I'm just here calling the thing. The show's over there.
Yeah.
It's that. Like, it's not about me. Like, he doesn't want any of that. And that's why I think he would shy away from something like this.
Well, then, I don't know.
But again, in a perfect world, we're fantasy booking. I agree. I would almost have him being like, brother, really? You're fucking hey, man. I don't know where we didn't exactly raise you that way. You know what I mean? Like these kind of things.
And that's what I'm saying. Not get crazy, but like, let's just hypothetically say the scenario that I was thinking of that could play out to, again, make him more of a whiny little baby than what he currently is let's say he wrestles a match against Leo Rush, right? Leo Rush is obnoxious. Leo Rush a little bit quicker than he is. He keeps getting one step quicker than Hook in every little spot in the match, right?
Hook can't get a hold of him.
Yeah.
Right?
Hook eventually gets a little fucking aggravated while the ref is messing with the Action Andretti. Hook low blows Leo Rush, rolls him up 1, 2, 3, rolls out of the ring, is like, ha ha ha, rolls out to the commentary side. And Taz is
sitting
like,
there just like,
hey, man.
Like
and
shaking his head.
Stands up, takes his glasses off. Hey, what are you doing? Right? Just puts his hands up. And then Hook could just easily, because you don't want to slow burn this because we would easily just like get to it. I would do it the first second where Taz is like, hey, what the fuck? Hook just looks around, pushes him, and then runs off. And he's like, what the and then Tony Schiavone would be like, what was that, Taz?
We
Like,
can
I
even
don't
sell
fucking
Taz
know.
like, I'm going to need a minute, right? And doesn't commentate the next match, right?
Yeah. And then just little things like that. And then Tony Schiavone would be like, Taz, are you going to do anything? He's like, hey, that's his own. He's his own man.
Like,
I'm
prefer
just
not to talk
commentator.
about personal business here. I'm here to do a show. I'm getting paid to do a show. Do the show, Schiavone.
Yep. Yeah. And then
Right?
that's when the whiny thing comes out. And there you go.
Hire us,
all right.
Tony.
I
Hire
mean,
us.
come on. You're going to see a sign at a Dynamite.
Yep.
But as I mentioned, Ricochet and GOA, they're up next, and they're going to be backstage. And they cut to the chase here, and they say, we're challenging you. Actually, it's not a challenge, it's a demand. And also, this isn't a business to us. This is personal. You're a punk. I'll say this. The Taya Leone? How do you say his name?
So, yep.
He was the most impressive here. He came out without the like, and was like, I'm actually talking right to you. I thought that was the coolest part of this whole thing.
No, I like that we got them some mic time. I've known of them, but I'm less familiar because I don't watch ROH religiously, where they had spent a lot of their time. And so I'm excited for this. I do like too that Ricochet was like, hey, this goes back before AEW. Like, this is way back, problems with them. Right. And then he called him out. He's like, you're old. Right. Which, I mean, I don't think he's that much younger than maybe he is. And he's like, you're old, so fuck you. Right. And then that's kind of what we're going to get. We're just going to get this little trios battle of them both being aggressive. We'll see from the MVP and crew later, but it's just going to be a good old fashioned fight, isn't it?
I hope so. This is where it's going to be interesting taking a look at Hurt Syndicate and what we do with them. By the way, just for fun, I did look it up. Ricochet is 36. So not a spring chicken, but not 50 like old Franklin Lashley.
Who might be the youngest? Well, but Shelton might be younger. He's probably the youngest. I don't know. Maybe MVP's the youngest. I don't know. I don't know.
They're all old. What I was going to say, though, is
AARP by now.
This is where it's going to be interesting because if the Hurt Syndicate loses, I think it's more of a plus for them because I feel that I continuously see the AEW hardcore fans going, oh, you just can never lose. You're just,
But not even with that with me. It's just because the Ricochet and the GOE thing is new. I think Ricochet still got some fire under him and kind of his character arc, like you said, where I think story purposes would be better for Ricochet and GOA's team to win this and kind of keep going on a trajectory up and like proving that he made a good choice in getting a crew beside him. Because look, they just took out the crew that had been fucking everybody up, and now they have to wrestle with, and we were the crew fucking everybody up. And then was that your fault or was that, you know what I mean? Like, so we get a little of that maybe.
Yeah, and it's just because, I don't know, whoever does make the decisions, you don't want another Aleister Black, you don't want another Miro where it's like they can't lose unless they're other former WWE guys, and even though Ricochet is, the other two aren't. And so, can you guys just, we talked about this last week, but like, consistently winning isn't fucking fun to watch. It's boring. It's very, very boring to watch. Yeah. Who the fuck cares? Like, it's tired. Like, so lose to somebody. And to your point, Ricochet and GOA are the cooler.
Not the Chiefs, though. We like them just winning and winning and winning.
Even they did us a favor and they're like, you know what? We got it. So let's just redemption and everyone's going to love us now. Yeah. And so,
everybody knows we could have got the 3P, but we don't want to rub it in everybody's faces. And like, Philly's a cool team.
Yeah.
Except for Coach, he's an idiot.
And Jalen Hurts. I wanted to like Jalen Hurts so much. And now this performative fucking ass where he's like, I'm not going to wear the Super Bowl ring ever. I put it away and we're on to next season. Fuck you. God, just just this way, and then the fucking goof Nick Sirianni. Oh, I didn't know it was banner night. Have you never fucking coached in the NFL? Every goddamn first fucking game is the Super Bowl champion dropping the banner.
Well, the whole thing with that is like, I know that is. Like, I know it is. And I know they specifically, like, I know how these large-scale operations work, and something like an NFL team can only work successfully with rigid, already predetermined like flow of operations. They fucking told Nick Sirianni about the process and the timing and where his team needed to be and where they needed to fucking stand. He fucking knows.
Yeah.
Like, I hate that performative shit. You fucking
or
know.
They told that
Liar.
big fucking, yeah. Or they told that big fucking thumb who that calls himself a security guard, whatever that fucking jamoke's name is.
No, because that stuff is like, it's timed. They got to know where they got to, like, no.
I know, but I'm just.
They know.
Big Dom.
But anyway.
Big Dom. I'm Big Dom.
What we're saying is consistently winning, isn't that?
I didn't fucking say it right here.
Chiefs.
Off.
We just got to win the next 3 now, just to do that to them.
And fuck the Cowboys too. You fucking Panthers with a good PR system. You guys suck. You guys haven't. Do you realize that Jalen Hurts was conceived, born, lived, then graduated college, was drafted in the NFL, and then won a Super Bowl before you even went back to an NFC Championship game? You fucking losers. God, I got a big fucking star. Everything bigger in Texas. Fuck off with your rapist as a fucking owner. You guys are fucking cunts. I just fuck Cowboys. The fucking Cowboys. Who's the fuck is a Cowboys fan? What are you also a fan of cassettes? You fucking losers. You fucking old ass boomers. Fucking Cowboys. God, have some respect. Ah.
Unless we're talking about the anxious millennial cowboy.
Well, that's a real cowboy. That's not old fucking, Epstein Island Jerry Jones fucking over there.
Call yourself a cowboy and then have a star as your logo, you weird fucks. What does that mean?
Yeah, you fucking goofballs with your fucking Trumper owner and Epstein Island fucking asshole cunt Jerry Jones.
Interesting that you're the Dallas Cowboys whose logo is a star when you have a professional team named the Dallas Stars. Weird.
They're all fucking weird.
Weird.
Yeah, so it's never good to just continuously to win.
Remember, aewrapup@gmail.com. Send us any correspondence you would like, and we'll discuss it.
Yeah. All right, let's get into some. Here's a fucking real, authentic person, more so than the fucking Jerry Jones Dallas Cowboy fans. Mark Briscoe's next, and he comes out and he says, "Hey, I keep getting told that I need to before I get a match with Kyle Fletcher, I got to beat up someone from the Don Callis family. So Don, get your dumb ass out here, pick whatever family member you want, and I'm going to fight him." And Don Callis goes, "Oh, well, I'm going to give you Fun Pants Takeshita with your Fun Pants.
Pirate
Walk
Pants
out
Takeshita.
here." Yeah. And he's like, ooh, yeah. Just got off the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Doing backup dancing for MC Hammer over here.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Fucking gonna do a base jumping in those pants so you fucking can just glide all the way down to the ground.
The flying squirrel outfits.
Yeah, like that.
Fresh off his G1 victory, though.
Yeah, he won the G1, but then he comes out. This is what I thought was a touch clunky. So he comes out, just gets in his face. Saturday we're gonna do the match. Okay. Then he walks off, and then Briscoe's like, "But hey, I'm ready to fight now."
Yeah, I like this, though. He's like, "All right, cool, Saturday, great, fine, whatever, numbnuts, but, like, pick somebody else, let's go."
And then old little, what's his name?
Rocky Romero.
Rocky Romero's like, "I'll do it. Hey, Dad, I'll do it.
Put me in."
Yeah. And Don Callis goes, "Get out of here." Don
Callis like, yeah. You know what? Nah.
Let's get the big guy.
I like you for doing the numbers. You.
Yeah. And so he gets Lance Archer. But this is what I thought was clunky, is we get this whole setup to get Mark Briscoe versus Lance Archer. Now, to jump ahead just a little bit, later on in the show, we hear from Okada, and Okada says, Takeshita needs to realize that I'm the number one guy in this family, not Takeshita.
Yeah, so why didn't he come out and beat up Mark Briscoe instead?
Or, stop. Yeah, I felt like we could have done kind of two birds, one stone with Okada gets in Takeshita's face to say, "You're not going to wrestle Briscoe, I am." And then they do a kind of a inner family fight
Yeah,
thing there.
if anything, I would have done Takeshita first, and then on Collision, Okada's like, "You think you wrestle Mark Briscoe? Like, I'll show you. I'll do it better. I'll beat him quicker." Right, bitch.
Right. Yeah, and so something like that, because then it felt weird that if Okada is the number one guy in the family, well, why didn't Don Callis call on him? Also, why wasn't he there when Don Callis just had his whole fucking group of guys
Yeah,
standing
because
around?
I had, up until last night, honestly, been factoring in that, like, Bobby Heenan had a couple of these where, like, he had the Bobby Heenan family, but, like, some people weren't really, like, hanging out with the family, right? Like, he managed somebody, but they weren't part of, like, a group that would come out and beat everybody down. And I considered Okada to kind of be like this, right? Like, yeah, I'm part of the Don Callis family, but, like, I have my own dressing room.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not hanging out with you guys. You smell bad. So I considered that, but he was claiming, he was like throwing up that he was like, nobody messes with the Don Callis family or whatever the fuck he said, right? So, like,
Right. I would also
he's
say,
taking pride in him being the top dog in the Callis family.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I would say we might need to do a segment or a night of cleanup with the Don Callis family, because we're starting to get a little bit too many loose ends.
It's becoming the main focus, it seems, at the moment.
Yeah, but like, and we'll get to the very end of this, but where's Trent? Have we heard from Brian Cage?
Maybe that's to come. So if they are, and we'll talk later, but yeah, if they are to expand their reach on like the main focus of the story, the more that these people start popping up and reminding us that they exist might be better. So maybe let's put a pin in those.
Yeah, because for a Don Callis family, Hechicera was missing, Trent was missing.
It'd be hard to get 20 people in the same town.
Yeah.
Man, you got some people on PTO, Tom.
Well, yeah, because isn't the big dumper, isn't he on the bench right now? Because he's a
Mark generic name.
Mark Davis. That's it.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah. Where's he at? You know what I mean? Same with old action figure, old Muscles. Where's he been at? Is he hurt too? Brian Cage.
Oh, Flippy Biceps.
Yeah,
that's what we named him, Flippy Biceps. Yeah. Where's he at? Yeah, he does that like Rizzler thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it does that. Anyhow, let's get to this match. Mark Briscoe versus Lance Archer. I thought this was good. It kind of felt, and again, maybe I was just in a mood last night, but I watched it again, and I still feel like I'm in that same mood. Kind of felt like Lance Archer was sleepwalking through this.
Yeah, playing with his food.
Well, even like I've never wrestled a match, but even there were some parts where like he was standing in the corner and he was just like waiting and then going like, and it was like, hey man, are you paying attention to like?
Maybe he was like,
TV.
Did you see that stupid Philadelphia press conference from Nick Sirianni? I'm not going to give Philadelphia crowd nothing.
I mean, possibly, right? Maybe, who knows? But yeah, it just felt like he was kind of like out of it. It just didn't feel inspired by him.
Yeah. Maybe Don Callis didn't find the right amount of cocaine for everybody.
Maybe not. Speaking of cocaine, whatever happened to Jake the Snake Roberts? Where's he been at?
Cocaine. That's what happened to him. Oh, you mean since he's last been seen in AEW? Yeah. No, I don't. I know he's been up and down on some health things, I think.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, okay. I think. He's had that issue that's required him to have the oxygen and stuff, and I think some of that's been, if I remember correctly, he'd been focusing on that a little more.
Okay. Because I just remember, I was like, remember when Lance Archer, because I was a little disappointed in Lance Archer's match last night, and I remember when he was throwing people around with Jake the Snake?
Who did he made some trades or something, right? Like
with LFI. That's what I'm saying. And then, but he's never been seen with Bandit or not Bandit, Beast Mordos and Roosh. He'd been seen any with those guys. So I don't know.
Jake the Snake and Beast Mordos. That could be fun.
That would be so much fun.
He's another one who you wouldn't question him understanding the Beast's language, right?
Oh my God. Again, you don't want to make everything comedy, but the idea that
sprinkling it into something to hedge the mood is, I mean, they do it in movies for a reason, right? Like,
yeah, but the idea,
bring the drama down a little bit sometimes.
The idea that the lawyer Beast Mordos could get Jake the Snake Roberts out of legal things, I think would just be hilarious. Because of anyone on the roster, you'd like, who got into legal trouble? Jake the Snake did.
You know what? And so Jake the Snake, maybe because his condition is never going to be able to do that. But man, Stokely with the Beast Mordos and a lawyer, and him having to get Stokely out of legal issues.
That'd be perfect. Would be perfect. Anyhow, with Mark Briscoe, Lance Archer, like I mentioned, I was a little disappointed in Lance Archer, but Mark Briscoe, he always brings it, and he brought it here. He ends up getting the victory with the Froggy Bow. And now we look forward to Saturday's match with Takeshita on Collision.
Which Mark Briscoe will probably have another kid by then.
Also, maybe I missed this because sometimes I zone out. Did we see MJF?
I don't think we did. Speaking of Briscoe and the chicken farmer, I'm going to be feeding chickens next week. The neighbors are going on vacation. I'm going to be feeding chickens.
Oh, there you go. You should do a video and send it to him. Go, am I doing this right? And send it to Mark Briscoe. Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, Mark Briscoe, so inspired.
Yeah, is this right? This is. Yeah. These aren't Delaware chicken. They're Kansas chicken. But is this the right way to do this? Is there a different technique? And then send him the video. See what he says. I think that'd be actually pretty funny. You should.
I should.
What else are you gonna do? You're standing next to chicken. Okay, what are you doing?
I mean,
you know?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone said
time. We got workshop. I've been doing it all week, so we got time to workshop something.
I was thinking, someone said something silly to me yesterday about fried chicken. Oh, they said, are eggs fried chicken?
Yeah. Yeah, scrambled eggs, fried chicken.
Yeah, is it fried chicken? Yeah. Or how do you like your eggs? Fully aged, and it's just chicken? I think that's funny. All right. Speaking of animals, the goat was next, and it's timeless Tony Storm. And this was fascinating because for Tony Storm, it was kind of a nothing burger. Mm-hmm. Where she did the Philadelphia Freaks, lend me your ears.
She made a fine promo. It was just a nobody.
That's what I'm saying. It was God doesn't judge. That's my job. I thought it was great. Awesome. She didn't miss with this promo, but it was directed at the wall. Like, what? We ain't got no one to challenge Tony Storm. I ain't got no one.
Who are you going to... That's why I said sometimes when you have somebody that's that level, right, that's like kind of transcending the rest of the division, you can't have them be the champion. You got to have some funky reason or way to keep them away from the title for a while, which with her character is great because she's crazy. Mm-hmm. So, like, you don't need it, right? Like, it doesn't need the title. We're still going to make it one of the biggest matches on the card just because of who she is. So, you know what I mean? I think you made a mistake having her be the champion this long, this many times at this point with this character.
Well, what I would say is I know who I want her to face, but we can't do it. We would have to have a filler because I assume...
Willow!
Is it who?
Is it Willow?
No, God, no, that would be amazing. But you'd have to have a filler because I imagine she's going to defend her championship in Toronto. Right?
Somebody, Japan or something.
Yeah, but the next one that I'd sink my teeth in as far as a story for Tony Storm, because I would love the dynamics of all of it, especially if you get everyone involved. But I put the newly minted Death Rider, Chris Statlander, going up against Tony Storm. And you have Tony Storm talking shit to Jon Moxley. Could you just imagine that fucking visual? That just warms my heart.
Oh, and Claudio starting to get into his German or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, again, she would just, like, understand it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He would be like him just being, like, Moxley being almost impressed, being like, all right. All right.
Oh, and Tony Storm could be like, oh, I was in Germany once, and she tasted wonderful. And he'd be like, what the fuck, Tony?
Imagine the shit talking she could do to Yuta would be amazing.
Marina, if she could shit talk Marina Shafir as well, like, and she could just make fun of like the past. Where's Pac? Where's that bastard? The last bastard I had, I gave him up for adoption or something like that. Like, just stuck in like Tony Storm, Death Riders. I want to see it. And Chris Statlander can give you the match more so than Marina can.
Right.
So that's who I would like it to be next. But before we get all there,
because then when you have Renee involved, it gets even better. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. But before we get there, Renee is talking to Statlander and Harley Cameron. And Harley Cameron, I thought was perfect. Oh, they hurt my face again. Oh, no. And Statlander was like, it was never the mask. It was always you. And then like she does this like really
She's so fun. Like, just fun is the best way to describe her.
Yeah, she's great. And we don't really
said,
get
like,
too
give
much.
Us Brodito.
Yeah,
She's
go
like,
give
no,
us
no,
Brodito.
Maybe not. Yeah.
Well, and even Renee was like, "What's your team name?" She's like, "Don't name us. Don't name us." Yeah. But before we really got into really anything, the Death Riders show up, mainly Yuta and Marina Shafir. I thought Statlander played this great. She just stared Marina down like, I don't care. Whatever you have to say. And Yuta was like, hey guys. Hey, we're rooting for you. And then just takes off. And Statlander says something to the effect of like, hey, you can tell your friend I got the message, all right? And so what do you make of all of this?
I think it makes sense now why we did this Statlander Harley Cameron pairing, because everybody loves Harley Cameron. And when Statlander murders her twice, we're going to boo the shit out of her. That being Statlander. And then she'll be right into the Death Riders. And they're going to have her and Yuta do it so that it ties that heat. And like, we just, he just gives that heat rub to her there. And we're just going to be like, you evil bitch.
Oh, Tim. Sometimes I just love my little visions that I have. Just picture this. So
of violence.
Yes. Well, think of this. You do exactly. I mean, because again, my favorite thing in pro wrestling is when you establish such distinct characters and you put them all in little corners. And then, like, honestly, why I grew up always loving the Royal Rumble is because you didn't know, for example, Goldberg and Kurt Angle would be in the Royal Rumble at the same time together, right? Like, what the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying?
Especially back then when they didn't put the big name stars in matches against each other all the time.
Right.
It was like local talent jobbers and shit. Yeah.
Right. So I love it when they do bump into each other. So this is why I thought this would be such a fun idea. Perfect. Do exactly what you said. Statlander murders Harley Cameron. Yuta is like, that's my best friend. Yeah. We're great, right?
Yeah, he's cheering it on like fucking Harvey Whippleman. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like just
exactly. And then Statlander does the match with Harley. She kills Harley, right? Boom. We'll see in a second, Harley, right? But that then takes Statlander to Toni Storm. Toni Storm, Statlander, she does the whole thing with all of the Death Riders, but mainly because, like I said, Yuta is Statlander's best friend. Yuta's going to be cornering Statlander in the title match against Toni Storm. I would pull the trigger. I would have Statlander beat Toni Storm, right?
Yeah, get that heat.
And then afterwards, I would have Yuta not beat up Toni Storm, but holding her down and Statlander smacking the shit out of her. Hold on. Smacking the shit out of her and stuff. And you know who comes to make the fucking save? Orange Cassidy. Because you know who he doesn't fucking like? Chris Statlander and Willer Yuta for being his former best friends. Then, again, picture Toni Storm and Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, doing an odd couple series of videos and everything.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that is what I want right there.
Yuta the whole time, too, on this Statlander run. Needs to be like the Penelope Ford to the Megan Bain, like needs to be like running underneath her. But
all that
full cheese dogging, everything.
Yes. That is what I would do. That would be perfect.
She's like carrying him on her shoulder out of the ring. He's like waving. All of it.
Oh, to your point, the Harvey Whippleman thing made me think about this. Is like Statlander. Before we do this interview with Renee, we gotta get a good workout in. And then Statlander's like, get on my shoulders. And we go back to the squats, but it's squats with Yuta on her shoulders. Yeah, that would be
that's
perfect.
what I mean. She's doing push-ups while Yuta's sitting there doing an interview with somebody. He's going up and down. Renee has to be like, God damn.
Well, and him being the yuck jokester would make the most sense of the Death Riders.
Yeah.
Because as soon as Statlander slips up and loses, well, Moxley's not going to get mad at Statlander.
It's Yuta. You should have been there.
Yeah.
over here being an idiot.
And now we could reset the now Yuta gets serious again because
Exactly.
Moxley doesn't. All right.
Yeah. We've got to capitalize on everybody. We want to boo the roof off when we see Yuta, just because now it's the thing to do. So we have to capitalize on this hate.
Yep, definitely. Speaking of Yuta, he is in our AEW World Tag Team Championship match. It is our champions, Brodito, taking on Claudio and Yuta. And we have a good match here. Not a ton to write about. Apparently, all of a sudden, Bandito does the Macarena. I don't know why that was a thing, but sure.
Why not?
Again,
it's fucking Americans.
Yeah, but this is where it's you're going up against the Death Riders, not Private Party. You're going up against the Death Riders. I don't know if we should have busted out the Macarena against the Death Riders, but we did.
Yeah, but we did.
And again, that's just nitpicking. I just kind of was I don't know if that was the spot to do it. We get, again, Bandito does the fucking, I'm actually the strongest guy, pound for pound in the whole fucking world. Watch me do what I do to Claudio, who's supposed to be the pound for pound strongest guy in the world. I thought that was fun. Again, Brody King.
But
awesome.
I feel like Brodito is awesome, but it's going to fizzle out quick because it's just we're not going to do anything with it. We're hitting the next town and we're running the same thing, and then it's going to die out after a while. And they'll lose the titles to somebody, and we'll forget about it. Yeah,
the only hope that I have, and we can't just continue to do heel turns, right? Because I do think it's also important to do babyface, right? A heel goes babyface, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think Brody King needs to kick Bandito to the curb, and that's where we get TNT champion Brody King. But that's just me. Also, and this is just a thing to me, have Bandito lose his ROH championship. One of the two, but the dual champion, but in two different promotions thing, I'm out on almost both of them.
Yep,
you know what I mean?
But
that's just me. It ends with, though, after Brodito gets the victory, Darby Allin escapes with the Death Riders on his hot tail, right? He's and Darby Allin, and Moxley's there, and but Darby got away again. Pretty fun.
Yeah.
As mentioned, Okada says Takeshita is number 2. I'm number 1. Hurt Syndicate. They actually, I will say this, MVP essentially just accepts the challenge, but makes it clear that this isn't going to be business. Yeah. They are going to hurt Ricochet.
Looks like MVP's been hitting them weights preparing for this match, too, because them traps were trapping. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And he wore the extra skinny suit to show that off.
Yeah, he's I want everyone to see these muscles. Mm-hmm. And so, very good, but not a ton to write home about. So we get the match will be at All Out, 6-man tag.
I feel that
Hurt Syndicate.
I think we'll remember this one. I think they're going to do some shit.
I hope so. Speaking of something we're probably going to remember at All Out, FTR and Adam Copeland and Christian Cage brawled. And help me did I get worked here? So Copeland comes out, FTR jumps him, Christian comes out, it's a pull apart, the ROH locker room breaks everything up. I guess because FTR is hey, I guess we got a minute to fill, let's just pile drive Jordan Oliver, GCW's Jordan Oliver.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And then some guy...
Some dude
that teamed with JD Drake on Collision starts punching bald FTR, and it kind of looked real.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
Well, we got more later in the show, but I remember thinking, what is this? I didn't think we were going to readdress it. I thought it was really weird. I thought maybe, the announcers were just filling because, this kid took his spot or something, you know what I mean? And they were just trying to play it off. But no, it seems planned. So, as we know later.
Yeah, because, so the pull apart, all that. Then FTR's backstage. They're huffing and puffing. Stokely is pissed. Then they bring that guy.
FTR1 is bloodied up.
Yeah. And then they bring that guy in. And the guy's hey.
Create a wrestler.
Sorry,
Yeah, he's like, sorry. And they're like, bitch, you gonna be sorry or whatever, you know. Like,
and you hit me.
Get a tag partner. They said, is it going to be Jordan Oliver?
Well, I would assume so. Well, actually, no, I think they actually announced it. Hold on.
Okay.
But this guy wrestled with JD Drake, friend of the show, and lost, but then now I guess is going to
shot at
wrestle
one of the best
him.
tag teams in the world, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
I guess. Sure. Yeah. Anyhow.
Must
So
be a
that's
friend.
happened.
Must be a
Has
friend
to
of
be.
the FTR.
Something.
He's a former babysitter getting into the business.
Maybe.
I do this for my family. All right, yeah, we know.
But yeah, I just thought it was it because it was so. And again, let's keep in kayfabe for a second. You can't really apologize when you hit bald FTR 5 times. It wasn't like
And
you hit
why'd
him
they
once.
accept the apology? And why did they
Yeah.
just beat his ass right there?
Yeah.
Why'd they say go find a random tag partner who we have no beef with to get a real ass whooping? Like, I don't understand.
I know who it was now. I remember. It's Tommy Billington,
Okay.
Dynamite Kid's grandson, I believe it
Yeah,
is.
sure.
That guy. And they love that guy. I think
Yeah.
that's why they're doing this. So, cool.
Got to rub them young boys, you know what I'm saying? Or however wrestlers say that, you know.
We get to our
Like,
all-star.
no, you said that. I don't know about
you
wrestlers.
said-
You said
yeah.
that.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, man, before we were way too far into this show to fail to address this. Speaking about rubbing young boys, what shirt are you wearing?
God damn it. We went through the intro and I was like, he didn't say shit about it. And I was like, I should say something. And I was like, no, I shouldn't say anything. I'm going to not say anything.
What's the
Let it go
shirt?
the whole show.
Yeah.
Fuck you for remembering. We were so close. We were getting ready to talk about the main event, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'm
perfect
wearing
time.
a Jeff Jarrett shirt. God damn it. Tom, I used to think that when I was losing weight, it was because I was like eating healthy and making smart decisions. And I realized it was just the depression from having this shirt in my house. Because now that I have it back, I'm a fat ass and it's a little tight. More than it usually like constricts around the neck, you know? Yeah, so I lost the pay-per-view picks. I was supposed to wear this last week, but Tom didn't want to meet up because he doesn't like my face, and so
You are correct. All of this is actual.
Fucking pigeon delivered this the other day.
Yes. Yeah. You tried to get rid of it.
Sucks.
Yeah. You own that, boy.
Smells like despair.
Yeah. Smells like losing picks.
God damn it! I can't believe you remembered that.
I loved it.
For sure. We were going to get through this whole thing, and I was going to remind you and make you be like, "Ah!"
Oh, got it. Clip that. Posting that. Just that clip alone.
Cut it out. I'm going to
Nope.
remove all evidence.
Yep. All right, now let's talk about this main event. So it's our all-star 8-man tag. It's the TNT champion, Kyle Fletcher, the walking weapon, Josh Alexander, and these guys, the Young Bucks,
Yeah.
taking on Jet Speed, Kenny Omega, and our AEW Men's World Champion, Hangman Adam Page.
Yep.
I did like before we got to the match that we showed the Young Bucks are now doing meet and greets. And I get it because they're heels. But it also kind of said the quiet part out loud where it's like wrestlers hate these.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, so
Well,
then
yeah,
like,
I
what
mean-
the fuck? But you know what I mean? Like, you know, like I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
You know, like
They're wrestling fans. They're going to remember.
that's true.
They're going to get it.
Yeah. But yeah, we get a classic multi-person tag AEW tag
We're in,
match.
we're out. With,
We're in, up, we're down,
close
up.
calls, save
bigger.
save the pinfall.
Yeah. And crazy enough, I really was shocked by this. The bad guys get the victory.
Yeah.
So our men's AEW champion,
Well,
the best bout machine, Kenny Omega, and Jet Speed, who I've been told don't suck, lost.
you've
You
been
know what I
told that?
mean? Yeah.
I didn't tell you that. Yes, interesting until we see, I think, what follows. And I think we're trying to set up the Don Callis family as sort of the main villains for at least the next major storylines that are going to go down.
Yeah, so they get the victory. Post-match, Matt and Nick pair off with Jet
These guys
Speed.
again.
Yeah, these guys go with the other guys, and they fight each other up into, the abyss.
These guys went with those guys.
Yeah, these guys went with those guys, and they fight to the back. And then, to your point, the Don Callis family fucking murders Hangman and Kenny Omega. And namely, Kyle Fletcher murders both Hangman. I mean, it's interesting because Kyle Fletcher is the TNT champion. If he was not the TNT champion, I'm like, oh, this is the next big heel. And I'm not saying he can't be, but it's like he already has a championship, so he's kind of already doing something else.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Now, the other part. So, yes, Hangman gets his neck fucking broke, essentially. They killed Kenny Omega, put him out on a stretcher. They have exclusive footage of putting him on that stretcher and sending him to the back. The thing that I found interesting, though, because I agree with you, it does feel like Don Callis family is being positioned as the black cloud around AEW, kind of like what the Death Riders were for a moment. Where was MJF, right? What's he doing? Why, you think Hangman's dead? Well, who would like to piss on that grave?
Join up with the Don Callis family and
or is he paying them to do this? He's paying Don Callis.
He's a temporary member of the family, right? A family agreement.
But for as pissed off and saying that he's going to take the soul of Hangman, I mean, here's a moment where they're dead, air quotes, dead. And it's just Don Callis family standing tall. So what'd you make of all of this?
I'm interested to see where it goes. Yeah, I don't know who amongst the Don Callis, because I feel like you got to position one of them against Hangman. So is that like Takeshita, or is that, Okada, or is that like, I don't know what we do here.
That's the other person that was missing. Wardlow. Where the fuck was Wardlow?
Wardlow's in there. God, I hope he's not. And I guess if Hangman's just going to beat him, but
yeah. You got a lot of cooks in this kitchen because you got Okada. But Okada's saying, I'm the number one guy. So him and Takeshita have this friction. Fletcher looks to be occupied with Mark Briscoe, I guess, right? Because they keep talking about each other.
I think so, yeah.
Wardlow's new, but he hasn't wrestled yet. And then you got just a cast of other guys.
Mid-carders that wouldn't really fit that role. So, yeah, maybe it's got to be an MJF involvement then, I think.
Or... tell me how you think this fits. What if Kenny Omega goes, Hangman, you piece of shit? I damn near died because of your fucking bullshit.
Reunites with Don Callis.
Or just gets pissed at Hangman. You piece of shit.
I don't even hate that. I want him to be like, I see the light now, Don. I get it. I understand that we need protection in this business.
And, let's just go down this rabbit hole just for really quick. You want to talk about who could beat the Hurt Syndicate? Or, excuse me, Brodito will lose, right? Let's just say the Hurt Syndicate are the big bad guys on the corner again. They regain the championships because they're the Hurt Syndicate, right? You know who could beat the Hurt Syndicate? Kenny Omega and Okada. You make the Hurt Syndicate baby faces, we hurt people. And then it's the fucking dream of all dream kind of teams that's never teamed before, at least as far as I know. Okada and Kenny Omega as heels with Don Callis.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be main event. I like that idea right there. But yeah, I'm interested because Kyle Fletcher looked to be the big bad boogeyman here. But I feel like maybe not because he's got other business to attend to.
Yeah, you would think, yeah. It's interesting to see where they're going to go with that because, yeah, I don't think there's anybody in the family that, like, isn't currently tied up that would fit challenging for a title. And maybe that's not where we go. Maybe it's a tag team match.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's, yeah. Because the pay-per-view's in, 3 weeks, right? Like, it's pretty soon. So,
yeah.
Hangman
and Omega versus
two
Chuckle Fucks.
Yeah.
Maybe Flippy Biceps comes back and we get the
Wardlow and
machines, whatever.
Or Wardlow and Brian Cage.
Yep.
Tweedledee and Tweedledumfuck. You know what I mean? Those two fucking muscle bones. Steroid here, steroid there. Brr, 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 brr. You know, like the Tin Man.
Those guys? You think?
Yeah.
All right. I had fun here tonight, Tom. This was fun.
I had a great time. Yeah. What was the highlight for you? I'll tell you mine. It was your shirt. What was that shirt again, Tim? Oh, look at that face. You're so happy. Yeah. Play the guitar. Play the guitar. That's why you should watch the show. Because if you listen, you don't know what the fuck we just said. But if you watched, you knew exactly what we said.
No, until Tom wins this shirt back, or loses this shirt back, I guess is the way. I don't know. You should only listen. You should only listen on the week.
You're going to lose forever.
You have to wear it. All right. I encourage all of you to go to allelitewrapup.com. Send us an email, aewrapup@gmail.com. And then all the links are there for everything else. And other than that,
we'll see you next week, dumbass.